There's a pernicious idea that has taken root in the minds of many men, particularly those who pride themselves on their intelligence. It's the belief that raw intellect, the ability to deconstruct complex arguments or solve intricate problems, is the primary tool for navigating the complexities of human relationships, especially with women. But this is a profound and dangerous error. Intellect is a sharp tool, certainly, but it's not the right tool for every job. Relationships aren't logical puzzles to be solved. They are dynamic, living things that require a different kind of faculty altogether, what the ancients would have called wisdom. It isn't about being clever, it's about being grounded. Wisdom, unlike mere intellect, is the art of navigating the chaos of life with virtue and strength. This is where the profound teachings of Stoicism become not just relevant, but absolutely necessary. The Stoics understood that true power doesn't come from manipulating the world around you or dazzling others with your wit. It comes from mastering the world within you. Emotional control, not a practiced charm or a quick tongue, is the bedrock upon which genuine respect is built. A man who is a slave to his own emotional whims, no matter how high his IQ, is fundamentally weak. He is reactive, not proactive. He is a ship without a rudder, tossed about by the waves of circumstance and the moods of others. Today, we are going to embark on a necessary journey. We will dissect in detail 9 critical mistakes that even the most intelligent men make when dealing with women. More importantly, we will anchor our solutions in the timeless, practical wisdom of Stoic philosophy. We will learn how to build a foundation of inner strength that is impervious to the storms of relational life. As the great Stoic emperor Marcus Aurelius wrote, in what could be the foundational statement for this entire discussion, you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. This realization is the first step toward becoming the kind of man who commands not just attention, but deep, abiding respect. The first and perhaps most corrosive mistake a man can make is to seek validation from a woman. It's an insidious trap. You contort yourself, you alter your opinions, you soften your stance, all in the desperate hope of hearing those words of approval. You become a reflection of what you think she wants to see, and in doing so, you cease to be anything at all. This desperate need for external affirmation is a sign of a hollow core. It signals that your sense of self-worth is not generated internally from your own principles and actions, but is outsourced, dependent on the whims and moods of another person. It's a pathetic state of being, and it is profoundly unattractive because it reeks of neediness and instability. A woman cannot feel safe with a man whose very identity is a liquid, ready to be poured into any container that offers it acceptance. The Stoic response to this is radical and liberating. You must become the ultimate source of your own validation. Your worth is not a matter for debate or a verdict to be handed down by others. It is a fact established by your commitment to virtue, your discipline, and your integrity. You must build an internal citadel so strong that the winds of praise or criticism from the outside world are rendered irrelevant. As Seneca said, "What is bravery if it has not been tested? The brave man is free who looks death in the face and is not frightened." In the same vein, the validated man is he who looks disapproval in the face and is not swayed from his principles. He stands for something, and because he stands for something, he becomes someone a woman can stand beside. Another catastrophic error is the tendency to meet female emotion with an equal and opposite emotional reaction. She expresses frustration, and you meet it with anger. She voices anxiety, and you counter with panicked defensiveness. You allow her emotional state to dictate your own. In doing so, you abandon your masculine center and enter her emotional frame, and a frame cannot hold two people. When you do this, you cease to be the stable rock, and instead become just another wave in the tumultuous sea. This is a profound failure of leadership and strength. It communicates that you are not in control of yourself. And if you are not in control of yourself, how can you possibly be a source of stability and security for her or for your family? Your emotional volatility makes you unreliable and, frankly, frightening. The Stoic teaching here is one of divine simplicity. Pause. When confronted with an emotional storm, you are not to suppress your own feelings, but you are not to be ruled by them either. You must create a space between the stimulus, her emotion, and your response. In that space lies your power. It is the space where reason can intercede, where you can choose a response instead of being driven by a reaction. You observe the emotion, you acknowledge it, but you do not become it. You remain the calm, logical center. This quiet control, this refusal to be dragged into the chaos, is an incredible demonstration of strength. It is what earns respect and builds trust. You become the lighthouse, unshaken by the storm, providing a constant and unwavering light for the ship to navigate by. That is a deeply attractive and reassuring quality. A man's purpose is his spine. It is the central organizing principle of his life. It is his direction, his why, his reason for getting out of bed in the morning and facing the suffering and malevolence of the world. A devastating mistake that many men make, particularly in the intoxicating early stages of a relationship, is to abandon this purpose for the woman. He cancels his projects, he neglects his work, he lets his ambitions wither on the vine, all to maximize his time with her. He makes her the center of his universe. And while this might seem romantic in a cheap novel, in reality, it is the kiss of death for attraction and respect. You are not just giving up your hobbies, you are amputating the very part of you that made you an interesting, dynamic, and admirable individual in the first place. A woman is attracted to a man on a mission. She is drawn to the energy, the drive, the ambition. His purpose is his anchor in the world, and it is what allows her to feel secure. When he abandons that purpose, he becomes unmoored, adrift. He loses his own respect for himself, and it is a law of nature that she cannot continue to respect. A man who does not respect himself. He becomes a satellite orbiting her, and this dependency is repulsive. The Stoic understands that his duty, his purpose, is primary. His relationships must be integrated into his life, not replace his life. By staying true to his path, he not only maintains his self-respect, but also becomes a far more attractive and compelling partner. He has a world of his own that she can be a part of, rather than needing her to be his entire world. There is a fundamental distinction that intelligent men often fail to grasp: the difference between chasing and attracting. Chasing is an act born of scarcity and fear. It's the constant texting, the grand, unearned gestures, the desperate attempts to prove your worth. Honestly, it is an active, frantic pursuit driven by the terrifying thought that if you stop moving, she will disappear. This behavior screams one thing: I am not enough on my own. I need you to complete me. It places her on a pedestal and you at her feet, a supplicant begging for attention. This dynamic is anathema to genuine attraction. You are trying to force a result, to solve the problem of her indifference with sheer effort, almost like a brute force intellectual attack. But attraction isn't a problem to be solved, it is a response to be generated. Attraction, in contrast, is a passive consequence of your own intrinsic value. It is not about what you do to get her, it is about who you are. The Stoic path is to turn your focus inward. Instead of chasing her, you chase excellence, you chase virtue, you chase self-mastery. You build your body, you sharpen your mind, you put your life in order, you pursue your purpose with relentless discipline. You become a man of substance and integrity. This process creates a powerful gravitational pull. You are no longer the hunter, desperately running after his prey. You are the mountain, solid and immovable, that others are naturally drawn to. Your self-mastery eliminates the fear of loss because your worth is not tied to a presence. And really, this is the ultimate source of magnetism. Many well-intentioned, intelligent men fall into the trap of confusing kindness with a lack of boundaries. They believe that being a nice guy means being endlessly accommodating, always saying yes and never causing a moment of friction. They absorb disrespect. They tolerate bad behavior. They allow their time and energy to be trampled upon, all under the guise of being agreeable. But this is not kindness, it is weakness. It is a failure to protect your own sovereignty, your own dignity. When you fail to set and enforce boundaries, you are teaching people, including the woman you are with, that you do not value yourself. And if you do not value yourself, it is impossible for her to value you. Your lack of boundaries creates a sense of unease and instability. She cannot trust a man who will not even stand up for himself. Setting boundaries is not an act of aggression, it is an act of self-respect. The Stoic approach is not to enforce them with anger or ultimatums, but with a calm, quiet strength. It is a simple, non-negotiable declaration of what you will and will not accept. It is saying no without apology when a request violates your principles or drains your resources. It is calmly stating that a certain behavior is unacceptable and then, if necessary, calmly creating distance. This demonstrates that you have a core of steel. It shows that your kindness is a choice, a gift offered from a position of strength, not a desperate strategy for approval born from a position of weakness. A man with firm, calmly enforced boundaries is a man who is safe, reliable, and worthy of profound respect. People-pleasing is a close cousin to seeking validation, but it is more pervasive and subtle. It is the compulsive need to make everyone around you happy, to avoid conflict at all costs, to be the perpetual good guy. The people-pleaser believes that his value lies in his utility to others, particularly to the woman he desires. He morphs his personality, suppresses his own needs, and agrees with things he fundamentally opposes, all to maintain a fragile peace. He thinks this makes him likable, but it does the opposite. It makes him invisible. He becomes a utility, a tool to be used rather than a man to be respected. This constant accommodation erodes respect piece by piece because it reveals a man without a spine, without a core set of non-negotiable beliefs. The Stoic virtue of integrity stands in direct opposition to this. Integrity means that your actions are aligned with your values, regardless of social pressure. It means you are willing to be disagreeable in the service of the truth. It means your yes has weight because your no is also a real possibility. A Stoic understands that seeking the approval of others is a form of slavery. Your duty is not to please, but to be virtuous. This doesn't mean being a jerk or needlessly confrontational. It means that when a moment of truth arrives, you speak your mind respectfully but firmly. You prioritize your internal moral compass over the external desire for harmony. This integrity is what builds a reputation for authenticity and strength. A woman can trust a man of integrity even when she disagrees with him, far more than she can ever trust a man who will agree with anything to please her. Problems in a relationship are like an infection in the body. If left untreated, they don't just disappear. They fester, they grow, they become septic, and they threaten the life of the entire organism. One of the most common and destructive mistakes men make is the avoidance of difficult conversations. They see a problem, a recurring issue, a breach of trust, a fundamental misalignment of values, and they look the other way. They do this out of a cowardly fear of conflict. They fear the emotional fallout, the anger, the tears. They tell themselves they are keeping the peace. But what they are actually doing is allowing a cancer to metastasize within the relationship. This avoidance is a profound failure of masculine responsibility. The Stoics prize courage above almost all other virtues. And courage is not the absence of fear, it is acting rightly in spite of fear. The courageous path is to face the discomfort head-on. It is to take responsibility for addressing the difficult truths. This means initiating the conversation, not waiting for it to explode. It means speaking the truth as you see it, with precision and without blame. You must be willing to venture into the dragon's lair, where the treasure of resolution is guarded by the fire of uncomfortable emotions. As a man, it is your duty to lead into the chaos, not to run from it. By having the courage to face difficult conversations, you not only solve problems when they are small, but also demonstrate that you are a man who can be relied upon when things get tough. It seems paradoxical, but one of the most selfish things a man can do in a relationship is to neglect himself. He stops working out, he eats poorly, he abandons his hobbies, he lets his mind grow dull. He sacrifices his own well-being, often under the misguided belief that he is dedicating all his energy to the relationship. But a man who does not take care of himself becomes a liability, not an asset. His declining physical health saps his energy and vitality. His neglected mental state makes him irritable and less resilient. He loses the very strength and vibrancy that made him attractive in the first place. He is trying to pour from an empty cup, and soon he has nothing left to give to her, to his family, or to himself. The Stoic principle of oikeiosis can be understood as a duty of care that starts with the self. The Stoics knew that you cannot be of service to the whole if your own part is broken. Taking care of your body, your mind, and your spirit is not a selfish indulgence. It is your fundamental duty. It is the necessary maintenance on the tool that you must use to engage with the world. By disciplining your body, you discipline your will. By sharpening your mind, you improve your judgment. By tending to your own well-being, you ensure that you remain a pillar of strength, not a crumbling ruin that she has to prop up. A man who respects himself enough to maintain his own vessel is a man who is capable of truly caring for and protecting others. In the modern world, there's a deep confusion about what vulnerability means for a man. Many men, especially intelligent ones, equate it with emotional incontinence, uncontrolled weeping, constant complaining, offloading all your anxieties onto your partner. Fearing this, they swing to the other extreme. They build an impenetrable wall. They share nothing of their inner struggles, their fears, or their doubts. They believe this stoicism, with a lowercase o's, is a sign of strength, but it is not. This kind of emotional constipation is born of fear, the fear of being seen as weak, the fear of being judged. It prevents any real, deep connection from forming. She can admire you from a distance, but she can never truly know you or feel close to you. True Stoic strength is not about suppressing emotion or hiding your humanity. It is about having the courage to be honest about your struggles without being defined by them. Vulnerability, when properly understood, is not weakness, it is honest strength. It is the ability to say, this is difficult and this is what I'm doing to face it. It is sharing your battle, not just your victory parade. It is being truthful about your internal state without becoming a victim to it. This kind of authentic sharing builds profound trust and intimacy. It allows her to see the real man, flaws and all, and to respect him even more for his courageous and honest engagement with the hardships of life. It's the difference between a brittle statue and a mighty oak tree that can bend in the wind without breaking. We've journeyed through these 9 fundamental errors, and what we find is a single, unifying thread. Each mistake, from seeking validation to fearing vulnerability, stems from an external orientation. It is the error of looking outside of yourself for your strength, your worth, and your stability. It's the belief that if you can just control her perception, manage her emotions, or win her approval, then you will be whole. This is a fool's errand. It is the path of anxiety, weakness, and eventual resentment. The man who walks this path, no matter how intellectually gifted he may be, is building his house on sand. When the inevitable storms of life and love arrive, that house will be washed away, and he will be left with nothing. The Stoic alternative, the path we have laid out today, is one of radical internal orientation. It is the construction of an inner citadel, It is the decision to become the source of your own validation, the master of your own emotional state, the captain of your own soul. It is about anchoring yourself in purpose, attracting through virtue, and acting with integrity. This is not a quick fix or a set of manipulation tactics. This is deep, difficult internal work. It is the daily practice of choosing discipline over comfort, courage over fear, and virtue over social approval. This is the work of a lifetime, but it is the only work that truly matters. By embracing these principles, you cease to be a reactive boy, tossed on the waves of romance, and become a proactive man, a lighthouse standing firm amidst the storm. You build a foundation of self-respect so solid that the respect of others becomes a welcome consequence, not a desperate need. This is the path to becoming not just a smart man, but a wise one. A man of substance, a man of strength, a man worthy of a deep and meaningful partnership. So, the question you must ask yourself is not what she thinks of you, but what you are building within yourself. Start building today.